Okay, so this is a just a quick little video guide tutorial, whatever, on using a Nakitek game saver with Star Fox on the SNES. I'm going to be using a Super Famicom, Japanese Super Famicom, just because. The only reason why you'd want to do this probably is for speedrunning purposes, to help you practice different parts of the game. You could use an emulator, of course. That would probably be more convenient. But for those of us like me who play on a CRT TV, we've become very accustomed to the low input lag, and playing on an emulator, like I notice the difference big time, and it really throws me off. And my worry is that if I practice a lot on an emulator, then I'd become accustomed to that input lag, and then going back to this, it would probably throw me off again, and constant going back and forth doesn't really feel that good an idea to me. So, if anyone's familiar with this device who's watching this, basically it allows you to use one hardware save state, and you can load and save it using your controller. You load or create a save state, save it by holding R, pressing select. Then you can load it again by holding L and then pressing select. And the screen will kind of flash black briefly when you save and load, so you kind of know that it's happening. However, if anyone's actually tried this with games like Star Fox or other games that use special chips like the SA1 chip used by Super Mario RPG and Kirby's Superstar, or other Super FX chip games like Yoshi's Island, it doesn't really appear to work, or at least not all of them. Certainly Star Fox, the game, actually, it appears at first glance that it doesn't even boot up. But it actually does. You just have to kind of do it in a weird way. And then there's some additional caveats as to where you can actually save and load states from, but we'll get to that. So it's not a perfect device. For reference to, you do not have to put in this one here, is the plus version. I think there's a non-plus version that's a little bit different. This one has like a compartment for AA batteries. You don't have to put that in. The only reason you'd want to do that is if you actually wanted to take this, if you had a save state on here, you wanted to take it out and use it in a different console, or take it to some other place and be able to use the same save state. That's the only reason that you would need AA's. There's a power adapter that you're supposed to plug into the SNES, and then plug your actual SNES power adapter into this here. Again, you don't have to use that. The only reason that you would want to use that is if you wanted to keep a save state between play sessions, to actually be able to turn off your console, and then the next day maybe play again and reuse the same save state. I never use that. I don't plug this in. I don't put AA's in. You can if you want. I don't. It's not required. So anyway, so you plug your game into the back. Label side facing up, of course, and then just plug it in, and then we turn it on, and the logo comes up eventually, and then a different logo, and then so this is Star Fox, and now we get a black screen. Nothing happens. Oh no. If you press reset, the game actually starts. I kind of stumbled across that. I don't know if that's actually kind of a normal thing that you have to do with some games of this, but anyway, that's kind of cool. The only other thing I'll show you, if you hold select here, you get to this input revival code. I don't know why they call it a revival code, but anyway, in the Game Saver Plus manual, which I don't have a copy of, but I do have someone took a photo of one of the pages in the manual, has a big table of compatibility codes, and there's one for Star Fox, and it's you press A, and then now I can use the up and down for 1, 1, 1, 2. That's what's listed in the manual for Star Fox. There's no others. You just put the first one in. I have not noticed a difference using this versus not using this so far, but if you really want to be safe, you can just put that in every time. So then you just press start, then it goes back to this screen, And you're still going to get the black screen thing here. It will forever sit at this black screen, so you just press reset again. And then it goes. At this point, I cannot create a save state here. R plus select. Or I hit R and now it goes to that. But right, I can't create a save state here. No matter how many times I do it, I can't load a save state because there's no save state created yet. There's nothing there. Press start. I go into the next screen, and I can't create a save state here. I'm holding R, I'm pressing select, it's not creating anything. I'm holding L, pressing select, it's not loading anything, right? Nothing. So, go to game. Now this screen is different. There we go, save state created, right? So now I can go, just to verify that I can actually load a save state, I can go here. Can't load at this point, but you can load now. Now it's messed up a bit, but if anyone's familiar with this Nakitek game saver device, this is kind of par for the course. It tends to introduce little, mostly audio issues, but that's a limitation of the SNES hardware. The audio processors, you can't save its state or restore its state, so it's not the game saver's fault. It's the SNES just does not allow that to happen. But occasionally you will get little graphical glitches. This is not actually game breaking. It will recover from this if I... Right, and now this looks fine. So whatever. So let's just start the level. So as far as I can tell, when you're dealing with the Super FX chip enabled game, you can't save state or load state at any point where something is going on screen with the Super FX chip. Like right now it's drawing all these 3D models. So I can't save state here, I can't load state here. But if I pause the game, now I can save state. I can't load state though now, but if I pause it, I can load state. So that's kind of cool. So let's, I'm just going to play through this level. I'll probably cut this part out of the video. Okay, so to me the most obvious value as a speedrunner of this game, I mean it is helpful to be able to replay different parts of a level and get better at it, but a big part of saving time in this game is doing boss fights quickly. So being able to save state just before the boss fight and then restart it again and again and again and try to get better at it is really important. So this, what I've paused here right now is just before the boss. So I'm going to save state here, and we're going to go into the boss fight. Now remember, I can only save state and I can only load a save state on the pause screen during a level. So I can't, I can load now. Now the audio is going to be a bit messed up here until the music switches to the boss music. See, it kind of played it and then it restarted. That's normal game saver behavior. Anyone who's used this for any other games will recognize that, the audio issues. It's mostly just with background music where it doesn't restart or whatever, but the sound effects are usually fine. So now I can't pause the game now, right? Because the boss is dead. As soon as you kill the boss, the game disables the pause feature. So I can't restart, I can't load state, I can't pause, I can't load state. So what you don't want to do is if you have a save state that's during a level, you know, like I have right now, my current save state is just before the boss fight, you do not want to load that state from this screen. And I'll show you why in a bit, but you just don't, because if you do, it'll work, it'll load it, but the rendering will be a bit messed up, and you can still play, but you won't really be able to see that well. So the alternative to that really is that you have to go into another level so that the game is in kind of the 3D rendering part of it. So a lot of the state is the same. So I'm just going to start this level. The unfortunate side effect of this, though, is that the music, the boss music, will now actually be different. It'll be playing the Rock Crusher music instead of the Attack Carrier music. And we'll see that. So at this point now, all I have to do is pause the game. And now load the state. And there we go. See, the music is different. So that's kind of unfortunate if you rely on any kind of audio cues for any of these bosses. I mean, I'm pretty up to date on all the strats for all these different bosses. I'm not actually aware of any strats that use audio cues for these bosses in this game, so that really shouldn't be a problem. So now I'm going to show you what happens when you try to load the state just before the boss from the map screen. So again, can't load from here, can't pause. You know, we're stuck. We have to wait. Okay, so now let's load a state. So see, it works. The music is wrong, obviously. It works. But now, look at the rendering. See, it's this little window kind of on the top, you know, quarter of the screen. So you really can't do anything. I mean, I can still play it. Kind of hard. Oh, I missed it. Anyway. Yeah, loading it again doesn't fix the problem. So yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, but so there are limitations anyway. But it does work, and I think that's really helpful as a speedrunner of this game. So if an emulator is not something that you want to use because of input lag. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I have not tested this on every level yet. This is just something I kind of found out today and figured I'd share what I've learned so far. But it seems to me that it should work probably on every level. You just have to figure out what the best spots are to save state and load state from. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.